Every day, students come to school ready to learn, but not all of them have had enough to eat. For many families, paying for school lunches is hard. When school lunches are subsidized, more students can eat healthy meals without worrying about where the next meal comes from. Eating well helps students to focus, do better in class, and feel their best. If we want all students to have a fair chance to succeed, we need to make sure that they can all afford to eat. But how many kids go hungry, you may ask? According to Laura Hale's USDA article published on February 18th, 2026, so it is so recent, 1 in every 5 children are unsure will they ever get their next meal. Look around the class. 1 in every 5. How heartbreaking is that? Another 1.5 million students carry school lunch debt. This is a debt that just keeps on digging these kids a bigger hole for themselves. Around 20.5 million students already receive free school lunches, and 900,000 receive reduced price lunches. This brings us to a bigger problem. What happens if kids cannot afford lunch? According to the School Nutrition Association's 2026 article titled More Than Just Lunch, kids may rely on lower cost meals like small sandwiches, which do not nearly meet the daily caloric intake and causing them to be extremely hungry. Or they don't even eat at all, which may be even worse. Imagine going to class hungry, worrying about where your next meal is coming from, rather than worrying about what the teacher's saying. Children who experience food insecurity may have trouble focusing and learning in school, leading to reduced test scores and less funding for the schools by the government. So if the kids score lower on their tests, then schools don't get enough money, which means the kids can't eat more lunch, which is just an evil spiral that it goes down. Kids who don't get enough food to eat face higher risks of health conditions like anemia and asthma. Also, hunger can change how a child's brain and body grow and affect their thinking, learning, and behavior. Because when you don't have enough food as a kid, you cannot give your body the nutrition it needs to mature. But how can we fix this? According to New York City Food Policy Center, written by Marissa Sheldon, published on April 9th, 2024, as of 2023, states like California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Michigan, New Mexico, and Vermont have already adopted permanent statewide universal free meals. These states include some of the most highly educated schools in the country, like number 3 ranked Colorado, number 5 ranked Massachusetts, and number 11 ranked Minnesota. Test scores are proven to skyrocket when students are given access to free lunches, says the National Library of Medicine in their November 25th, 2025 article written by Lindsay Reed and published by Creative Commons Attribution. The evidence indicated mainly positive effect on breakfast on-task behavior in the classroom. 7 of 11 studies demonstrated a positive effect on breakfast on-task behavior. There are multiple organizations which already fund free school lunches and give students from many different states free food, like No Kid Hungry and Feeding America. This would be the key for student success. This brings me to Melody. Melody may ask, how can we fund such an expensive project? Which is a valid question. But I say, if we can spend $880 billion every year on the US military budget, why can't we spend just $23 billion to make all lunches subsidized? Where do we that? She may also say that students paying for school lunches pays for the cost of food, labor, and equipment for the school. I say if the US government can spend $1.5 billion in Ethiopia and another $1 billion to the Congo, who can point those out on a map for me? Exactly. And we can pay for our own kids here to eat. In conclusion, schools should subsidize lunches because every student deserves a chance to learn. When students have access to healthy and affordable meals, they can focus better in class, perform stronger academically, and feel supported by their school and community. By investing in free lunches For everyone in this school, we are not just providing food, we are investing in students' health, equality, and future success.